This text operates as a living tesseract of memory. It is an architecture designed to be operated, a mathematical structure that remains dormant until it finds an operator. Reading these verses as a mere record of the past creates the illusion of tagut. It traps the reader on the outside of the system, looking at a historical artifact rather than engaging with a live process. Verse 39-23 defines the book as a closed, self-referential loop. It describes a universe where every variable and state is already accounted for inside the disk. Nothing from the outside is admitted because nothing else is required. To navigate this dual caustic universe, we have to look at it through two distinct lenses: a spatial map that defines its boundaries and a temporal engine that drives its internal motion. Understanding this text requires a shift in posture. We have to move from passive readers of history into active operators navigating a strict topological space. Engineering uses a specific process to compactify an infinite space into a single bounded disk. It allows every possible data point in an unbounded domain to be mapped within a finite circle without losing any information. This is a Smith chart, the geometric translation of a closed universe. Everything that can happen in the text and the reality it describes is represented inside this boundary. The horizontal axis, labeled D10, represents resistance, the physical friction of matter. This is the Musa state, where tangible reality reaches its limit, much like the mountain that physically collapsed under the weight of a direct manifestation. The vertical arcs, labeled I9, measure reactance, energy that is stored and returned to the field rather than being lost to the earth. This is the ISA state, a wave function that remains live, raised and preserved rather than grounded out into a physical body. At the far left edge of the chart, the reflection coefficient hits -1. This is the Iblis pole, a state of total mismatch. Here, zero resistance and zero patience cause all energy to bounce back with a phase flip, rejecting the signal entirely. The center of the chart represents the zero reflection state of verse 38-46. This is the home, a perfect impedance match, where all power is absorbed, no standing wave exists, and the reader is in full equilibrium with the source. Every individual soul occupies a specific coordinate on this map. Your distance from that center is a measurable value, representing how much of your life is reflection and how much is true absorption. A map identifies your position, but movement requires an engine. To reach the center from the outer edge, we need a mechanism that actively processes our current state. That mechanism is the Collatz algorithm. It is a temporal engine that takes any numerical input and subjects it to two alternating operations until it collapses back into a stable attractor at 1. When reality presents an even condition, something tangible that can be acted upon, the system applies the n/2 operator. This represents the D10 action, culling excess, halving the manifest weight, and compressing the trajectory towards the center. When reality presents an odd condition, a hidden pattern or a witness state, the system applies the 3n+1 operator. This is the I9 witness. It preserves the memory of the path and ensures the loop continues until the information is fully integrated. Running these two operations simultaneously forces the system to generate coordinate 7. This is the node of completion, where the branching of the tree resolves into the finality of fruit. In mathematics, this engine is inescapable. Every trajectory, no matter how complex, eventually collapses into the 4-2-1 loop. It's a mathematical guarantee of return. By alternating between tangible action and hidden witnessing, your life functions as a series of algorithmic operations. Each trial is a step in a calculation that pushes your coordinates toward a state of total convergence. The map is fixed and the engine is running, but they remain inert without an operator. The entire system is waiting for a conscious choice to be made at the intersection of action and witness. Choosing the path of the kafir means defaulting entirely to the D10 physical split. By rejecting the hidden witness, you become a short circuit on the map, trapped in a state of total reflection, where nothing is ever absorbed. The path of the Muslim is the path of the perfect match. It requires aligning the physical n divided by 2 action with the unseen 3n+1 witness until the standing wave disappears. This requires a akal, the use of active intellect to recognize the mathematical structure of the trials you are navigating. Verse 1912 commands us to take the book with strength. This is the grip, the act of becoming the final matching network that navigates the spiral directly into the center of the chart. When the grip is applied, the reflection coefficient drops to 0, the sequence collapses to its source, and the system reaches total equilibrium. The Quran operates as a live circuit. By applying the grip, you complete the connection and stabilize the system. The circuit is open. The engine is running. When will you activate the grip?